Nice shirt, man. Come sit down.
Oh, hey, Fabian.
Hey, Nick.
It's the same shirt.
How did that happen?
I don't know, but we're here. What exactly are you doing here in Korea?
You know, PSG TALON, they were looking for a new head coach.
Okay.
And I think that is a very exciting project for me to work on. So, well, here I am, jerseys on, contract signed. What are you doing here is my question.
Well, you might need backup, you know? Little birdie told me that one coach is great, but why not unite two legends together for one team? That team could be PSG TALON.
Well, we've achieved a lot before. Why not do it again? What have you been up to since SI?
Sick, illness, land flu, recovery, you know.
It always goes. That event was sick though. I can accept being a little bit sick with 10,000 people in the crowd.
You would have to be, right? But yeah, the energy, the loudness, the roar from the crowd itself. I mean, it's any player's dream to play in front of 10,000 people.
Yeah, it's also my dream to coach in front of those amount of people again. Maybe we should do that next year.
25 SI?
Yeah, I think PSG TALON on the main stage doesn't sound too bad.
Korea on the main stage?
We'll see what we can do. It's not too far off.
Well, then we better get to work.
But you know, Nick, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna have to have quite a conversation.
Yeah? So, wanna get a drink?
Let's do it.
Okay. So Fabian, obviously, just started year 9 of Siege. Biggest SI ever. Storylines, crowd, competitive level, everything's growing and getting exciting. How does going to Korea become a thing? Where does that start?
You know, for us, I think joining PSG TALON will be a massive challenge. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't qualify for the first major, simply because we have so much to work on. Because there are so many issues that we have to solve.
Yeah.
Strategically, they're far behind.
Yeah.
Mechanically, they're far behind. Analytically, they're far behind.
Okay, so what you're saying is we gotta work on all the angles.
We have to build teams and pretty much the region from the ground up. We've done that once. Think we can do it again?
It was 8 years ago, 9 years ago at this point. Things were simpler back then, things were easier. We built the game as things came. New map, new operator, change, etc. We're talking about year 9, where there are so many different levels to it, so much depth, so many layers. That is a challenge.
You know, the greatness of our minds doesn't disappear over a few years. I still think we got this. And I think that with the backing from PSG TALON, ambitions that they have with this project, I definitely think it's doable.
So looking at our 5 players right now, we're talking about Roy Boy, Soldier, Misa, JLT, and Ryder.
Yeah.
That's what we're working with.
Those are the 5 players we'll start working with.
Yeah.
And then we'll see from there how things go. We've already seen very much improvement from the short time that we've been with them and talked to them. So keeping on this in 3 months, I think we'll see a completely different team in terms of potential in 3 months. And in 6 months, I don't think anybody will recognize this team. I think there's one person we've missed though, Donguk, the former coach, who's still working with us. Stepped more into managerial role, and he's going to be our translator as well. So we still have core staff from the former team that helps us a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that with his help, we'll be able to be understood to the degree that we need to be understood to be able to build something.
We've hit walls before where we'll say something and it's a blank face. They're like, what exactly do they mean, right? And it's like, Donguk, help. Then you'll explain it further.
And they start nodding.
Yeah, they start nodding. Ah, okay, yeah. I sent a message yesterday to Roy. I was like, I want to practice some stuff. And I saw him go on his computer and he copy-pasted it into Google Translate. And he's like, okay.
So there's a lot of things to overcome. I also think that the Korean region overall kinda is lacking on good opportunities in terms of other teams to practice against.
Yeah.
So we are not only reliant on ourselves to improve our team, but we're also reliant on other teams improving because of what they see. Us improving one team, we kinda improve every team because they have to start thinking what is it that they're doing, and they're gonna have to start improving themselves too.
Yeah.
So overall, it's not that we're just coming here to PSG TALON, we're also coming to Korea to reshape them. And it's very exciting times.
Yeah, that's the thing, because early, Siege historically, EU was the best region for a long time. When you have the best teams, all of that region will benefit.
Yeah.
Then NA did it, then Brazil did it. With PSG TALON, this could maybe the first time where a Korean team will consistently start doing well and can share that experience. And they won't need to go to international tournaments to get it, because they have international come to them, and you and I.
This journey we're about to start on is going to be so exciting because it's a long-term project that you can follow from start to finish.
Yeah. If you buy into the idea early as a fan, you can be there from day one and say, okay, this is messy. PSG Talon, they kind of suck maybe in like the first couple of games in Pro League. But if you stay with us 6 months, 8 months, 12 months in the future, you can actually make a comparison and say, okay, this is where they started, this is where they are. A lot of change has happened for the better.
Yeah, and I was there through all of it.
Yeah,
that's what they had to do.
Exactly.
They can support a team really from the rebirth that it is. And look at this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
This journey started quite crazily, you know? We randomly get to sit each other on the plane to Brazil.
Yeah.
We had not actually booked our seats next to each other. That's where we ended up.
Yeah.
And that's where we started talking about, should we try something together?
Yeah.
Starting a team for fun, or should we go somewhere and coach together and try to teach all our experience to someone new? And then during that event, PSG Talon comes along.
Yeah, like the place that I was sold at was, we want this to be a long-term project before we expect like success. Because they know it's a big deal. A lot of organizations and teams and managers say, okay guys, in 3 months, we gotta be the best team in the world. It's like, that's not gonna happen. They're like, oh, we envision 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, you what? You actually understand that this is gonna be a process? That's incredible.
I think that immediately the welcome we've had from PSG Talon has been incredible. All the way from when we arrived at the airport until today, and the entire rest of the stay here, the guys are super friendly. They're easy to talk to, even though we can barely communicate properly.
Yeah.
But we just hang out, we're enjoying the company.
We went bowling last night, obviously with the players. Like our first social gathering, because English is a language, sure, but yeah, it is. So is Korean. But when you talk Siege, it's like a specific kind of language.
Yeah.
And even if they don't speak English, we don't speak Korean, we all talk Siege. When you go bowling, that goes away all of a sudden. And I was thinking, what are we gonna talk about? How are we gonna do it, right? But then it's like, you just make fun, a lot of jokes yesterday as well. Ah, you're bad, I'm bad, wrong hand, whatever. And it feels like, even outside of Siege, everyone's happy to just like be together.
Yeah.
So obviously we're back together. As a wise man once said, it's like seeing a long-lost ex of yours, of course. We had many good years together, some years apart, and here we are again.
Yeah, those years apart was actually your fault though. You know,
my fault.
You could have written more often, or at least asked how I was. Our love was strong, and you broke my heart.
I stabbed you in the back.
You stabbed me in the back, in the front, and...
Now I'm here to remove the dagger, heal the wounds.
Is that so,
mend the past, yeah.
I guess we'll see. We've achieved everything that there is. We've won more tournaments than everybody else. Even with W7M's massive run this year, I don't think they're close to what we achieved. Nobody can take that away from us, and there's a reason we achieved that together. We might not achieve as much here, but in 2 years' time, who knows how good we will be.
Head coach, assistant coach,
content creator,
obviously analyst, caster. We have a lot of titles on our heads right now.
Yeah, it's 2 walls to bounce the ball between, right?
Yeah.
Come to the conclusion together, present it to the team as a whole. We don't come there one-on-one.
We've seen already where you see something one way and you go, Nick, am I crazy, or like, is this how it is? And I go, actually, yes, you're right. I'll say, no, actually, I think this is what's happening instead. You have a dialogue about it back and forth.
Yeah, we know what we know, and we know what we're talking about, and then it's just moving that information and that thought process over to the players. They need to think for themselves too. And we are hammering on that, that's for sure. We're hammering on, guys, come with feedback, come with questions, criticize us. If we are wrong, we're wrong, and it's okay to call us out on it. This isn't the hierarchy where we decide everything. We're here to support them in achieving the things that they want to achieve. And I think if the players start to do so, there's a big chance that we're going to dominate Korea, and it's not going to take too long to do that. It's going to be the international stage that's the hard part. So, Nick, you're going to be my right-hand man, but content creation is going to be your main focus.
Yeah.
For PSG Talon, what is it that makes you guys work together?
So you know this, of course, but we were kind of like a package deal, but we realized that having 2 primary coaches is way overkill, right? We just need one man to ship and then a second set of eyes.
Yeah.
So we kind of packaged it where I will be as a secondary coach, but as a content creator as well.
Yeah.
Try and bridge the gap between Korean Siege fans and the Western Siege fans, and of course, co-stream the games. Show my fans what a PSG Talon match looks like. Make them care about this team as well. And of course, I get to sit there stressed and be like, okay, we messed up this round, or whoa, this round worked out, you know?
The we part of the
exactly.
observing.
It's like they won, yeah. No, we won.
But also it's insight you can share with your crowd.
Yeah, of course. You know,
You might not be able to share everything,
yeah,
but you can share the thought process and the way we think.
Yeah, let's say we go for a certain attack and maybe it's gonna be a fun one, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, actually, this played out exactly like it was supposed to. Or I can go, this was a good round, but you know, we have other ways of doing it too, whatever the case might be. Share some small tidbits, of course, information. The same reason like when you go to international tournaments as a caster, you talk to players from other teams to try and understand how they feel about the game, what they envision, to again, the storylines. Fans, they care a lot about that, and we want to give them a reason to care.
And now they have one even bigger.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. So, main priority is content creation.
Yeah.
Second priority is to help me out when I need it.
Yeah, essentially that. It's a fine balance. You know, there might be weeks where you're like, you know what, I got this one, Nick, don't worry too much. And then maybe there's gonna be a fire and you go like, I need you right now. For like the next 4 days, we gotta really like iron this out. Like the other day, you were like, yo Nick, when you're bored, can you just get all the operator icons in a power slide or a PowerPoint presentation? I was like, yeah, let me sit there, copy, paste, size it down, slap it in. Someone's gotta do it.
Yeah,
you know?
someone has to. It's the assistant part, right?
Exactly.
That's where it is. So all the work we have to put down now, it's gonna be a lot. There was not even a foundation of team in terms of what we expect from strategical side, theoretical side, structural. Like there was nothing set.
Something as simple as map pool, right? There's 9 maps currently in Pro Play.
What we have seen so far from the map pool that they do have, they had 5 maps that they played, which means 4 permanent bans.
Yeah.
That's not possible. I'm going to aim for 9. I think we spend about 10 to 12 hours teaching the absolute basics takes and all of the things that can go wrong and right and how we need to react.
Yeah.
And that's just the basics. So 10 hours over for every map. We are averaging, I think, 6 hours of sleep.
To be fair,
like
there's some jet lag involved
there is
there
jet
as well.
lag, but
They've taken well to it so far. No complaints, to be honest.
they're not gonna complain. It's not in them. These guys want to learn, and that's one of the great things with the culture that we've come to. They always want to work hard. Sometimes maybe a bit too much, you know. They don't know when to say no.
Yeah.
Now we need to stop.
Yeah. Speaking of not saying no, you know, last night at bowling, it was what was it, like 10 p.m. It was like late. And then Soldier comes up and you go, oh yeah, after this, so you're gonna go home, we're gonna scrim 3 maps. And he was like, ha ha ha. But you had a straight face.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, we're scrimming 3 maps. He took his phone, pointed at the clock and was like, it's 10:14. And Fabian was like, no, I'll miss it with you. But he was so, and he was gonna do it too, I think.
He would have.
He would have been like, we'll play. So that's
yeah,
kinda crazy.
I have to joke around a bit with them.
Yeah, a lot yesterday, actually, doing bowling.
So Nick, we've already done everything that there is to do.
Yeah.
What are we missing?
Taking what we can call the bottom to the top.
And it's not only team, because once we were in Europe and we took a team that was pretty average, and we made that the best team in the history of the game. Now we're taking a region, the bottom to the top, or at least that's what we're gonna try to do.
Yeah, that's the goal.
It's the only thing I feel like I'm missing. Also to prove ourselves, I think, to ourselves, not to anybody else, because it's to prove ourselves that are we the guys that just talk about how great we were? Or are we the guys that can make sure that someone else is as great as we were?
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody will come close to what we did as players, but how close can we get?
Yeah.
And is it possible to do it with a team from the Korean region?
Yeah, because you make the point that like if you go to North America, Bristol, or Europe, for example, you take the last place team in Pro League.
Yeah.
And you want to make them better. Well, they know the basics that we spoke of
Yeah.
earlier. We don't have that here in Korea. You want to teach them the complicated stuff. You want to teach them split theory, but they need to learn where to plant.
Yeah, they
how
need to do
how to
basics.
do the map rotations.
How to play Monty.
Yeah, well, it's like that's the stuff we did in 2017 in Europe.
Yeah.
Because we've been around for a long time.
And all of those cheesy things with cheesy angles and crossfires and just basic setup, basic thought process, when to leave something, the triggers for leaving areas of the map, and really, really basic stuff. Basic contact play where we play off each other's contact. None of that exists.
So what's the goal for, let's say, stage 1 And then goals for stage 2, because that's basically the next like 8 months in the calendar year, basically.
Phase 1, the goal is to just improve as much as we humanly can.
Yeah.
Teaching all those basics and then see how much depth we can get on top of that. Wherever we end up, we'll pretty much be happy. I mean, if we're realistic, TALON ended up 3rd last stage.
Yeah.
We should end up at the same position or above.
Ideally, yeah.
Ideally. I do think that our biggest rivals, which is FearX, they will probably be our main opponents. But if we can take a spot at the major, we'll be happy, no matter if it's the 1st or 2nd. But honestly, this stage is just about improvement. Phase 2 is all about the major spot.
Okay.
That's where we need to qualify. I am expecting the 1st spot in the league because it doesn't make sense that we wouldn't be able to reach that.
Yeah.
And if we qualify for 6th Invitational, you never know what happens.
No.
We have plenty of time until then. With the right dedication during the leading months to the 6th Invitationals, we're definitely making it out of the groups. And then the question is just how far do we make it after that?
Basically a full year ahead, that's the plan right now, 1 year at a time.
Yeah, 1 year at a time. 2nd year, the goal is to compete for top 8.
Okay. Basically main stage, more or less.
The region we're from, we're never going to be the team with the pressure on us. We have expectations, but they are probably more from us than from anybody else.
And most teams, they see a group and they see, there's a Korean team, it's a free win for other teams.
Yeah.
You know? So the goal is to earn that respect and not be seen as a free Korean team, but a legitimate, so to speak, competitive Korean.
The first step during these 2 years will be make Korea the 4th best region in the world. And if that is on our back, whereas Korea as a whole, because we can help improve everybody, does not matter much. We're going off this old style of most APAC teams having a very set structure of how we follow the rules. Yeah, we still have that, but we allow the players the freedom to believe in themselves, and I think that that gives them more confidence than they had before. So, you got anything else we need to talk about, you think?
We gotta talk to some people.
Do we?
We gotta talk to the fans.
That makes quite a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. So, from my side, I hope that everybody who's watching this will be interested and excited as we are as well with this whole project. Understand that it's going to be a long process. It's not success in 2 weeks, but rather in 2 years.
Yeah, this is the perfect time for you guys at home, both as a Korean fan and Korean supporter of PSG TALON, or as an international supporter of PSG TALON, to jump on the train here.
Join us.
Because now you'll follow a team, and you both most likely know me and Nick. We are very open and honest with our conversations that we have with, first of all, our supporters, but also between each other. So now is the absolute perfect time to get so much insight and understanding of how a team works, and also the journey from very much the bottom to hopefully as close to the top as we can get.
Yeah, so if you're a big fan, very exciting. If you're a big hater, I guess pray for our downfall and see what happens. And if anything else, then thank you so much for support now and in the future.